not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. How done I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flame shine.
Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put them first, it's a one-way game of hide and seek. But if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, then you'll not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. How done I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flame shine. Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put them first, it's a one-way game of hide and seek. But if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, then you'll It's not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. How done I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flame shine. Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put them first, it's a one-way game of hide and seek. But if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, then you'll
Just give me time, I'll be okay. It's not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. Outdone I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flames shine.
Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put them first, it's a one-way game of hide and seek. But if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, then you'll
not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. Outdone I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flames shine.
Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put them first, it's a one-way game of hide and seek. But if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, then you'll
not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. Outdone I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flames shine.
Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put them first, it's a one-way game of hide and seek. But if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, but if you love yourself, then you'll It's not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. Outdone
done I was, now I'm just numb. Going through the motions, mind on the run. I'm not okay, but I'll be fine. I'm like the phoenix, watch my flame shine.
Some folks think loving someone else makes you weak. And if you put
we would have been unstoppable. Nothing in this world would have broken us. We would have made our mark on love, showed the world something remarkable. Somehow we let things fall apart. Bridge crumbled right between us. I reached out to catch your fingertips. Space and time beat we, the love struck. I still see all the good in you. Do you still see deep in my heart? Within, there's a reflection of you, a shining spirit healed, unscarred. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just grieving you. Dare I say us, or is it we? I dream of you. There's still an us. My soul still whispers we. I've let you go, but hold you close. When I lie comfortably, I dream of you. There's still an us. My soul still whispers. Stop telling me that I'm strong, just so you can be weak instead of...
Dana, that was awesome. Hi, everybody. Dana, can you hear me? There we go. Hey, Dane.
Hey.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
You just light up my whole life. You just always light up my whole life. I'm so excited. Hi, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Molly Hunter. I'm the founder of the Earth Girl Movement, but also am a Grammy-nominated producer, Emmy-winning artist, but also just a woman lover and uplifter. And I am so very grateful that Dana asked me to help moderate and host this beautiful time. So Dane.
Yes.
Can I ask you, it takes a lot of courage to just jump out and say, I'm going to write a book of poetry and I'm going to talk about my feelings and I'm going to share this energy. What in the world, what prompted you to bless us with this amazing piece? And that was awesome, by the way.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thanks for being here with me. I was pretty nervous about putting this out in the world. Like, I decided I wanted to put together a collection of poems. And then I decided I wanted to actually put them out in the world. And like you said, I guess you could call that courage. And I tease, I'm like, I think it's just crazy. But what else was I going to do in quarantine but put some art together and reflect and use my creativity and some of that courage to press forward and try to find something on the other side of this pandemic experience we got, thrust into this time last year with no warning. And I just decided that my poems didn't need to stay inside of my phone app anymore or inside of my journal. Poetry really is just a form of journaling for me. And it's a form of healing and self-care and transformation that, as you say, I'm now blessing others with. And I'm just so happy that this is finally coming to a point where it can touch other people's lives, not just my own.
Can you
I
hear
lost
me?
you, Molly.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
I'm here. It's so interesting. I think we've all had a lot of loss during COVID, or a lot of anxious energy, right? But the one thing that I'm hearing from many of the women that I really kind of look up to is, wow, I had a time to reset. And I think when you guys first had this conversation about what we would talk about today is the reset, and how, there were blessings that have come from this time of, adversity. So, for me as a songwriter, all songwriters always come to me and they say, or pre-songwriters, hey, I write poems. Do you think I could write songs? And absolutely yes. It's just a small difference between writing poetry and writing music. I've written poetry for years, but some of it was that angry poetry, and sometimes you get over things. So I love the fact that you're touching on different poems, and each one of the women that are invited on this panel, they have something special to add, and a lot of it is about love. Can you tell us how you chose everyone to be on the panel, and what inspired? I know you know so many people. Like, what inspired these women on the panel?
That's what everyone thinks, that I know everybody. I wanted to, one, have some diversity, and it's interesting when we took this, as you called it, this reset, this pandemic pause. You started looking at people differently. Like, what were we doing besides scrolling through our phones, doom scrolling, watching old movies and binging, because a lot of our favorite shows went into a hard pause and weren't producing anymore. So I started looking at people's voices a lot differently. And some people just fell off. Like, they needed to just disappear, and that's great. And other people, you realize they were taking the time to turn some of their mess into a message. And there's a lot of women in this room and all over that I really admire, that they were able to inspire in a time of so much darkness, and find new gifts and rediscover sides of themselves that, led people like me to say, you know what do I have to lose? Let me just go ahead and put my poetry out. What else am I going to do? That's really me, just being inspired by the world around me, and the voices that came out of the pandemic that were built to last.
I think one of the things that just impressed me the most about you when we first became friends, where you just didn't let yourself be in a box. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's my girlfriend on TV. She's in a music commercial. Wait, no, she's over here producing this. I love that you don't allow yourself to be put in a box, and that you shine your light on the hill, as they say, is what we're supposed to do. So I'm so grateful, because I think we all need a hero and a shiro, and it's National Women's Month, right? So what better than to release this project during this time?
I didn't even really think of that, but as we started getting closer to the end of the month, I thought about, look at me. I'm closing out this month with a bunch of fabulous women, and I am so proud of myself, again, for just being able to have a wide range of voices around me. That's how we get better, is just collecting from other places, other people's experience, drawing from their little sources of inspiration. I've learned so much from these women that are around us tonight, that I'm just excited for the impact we can have, because everything right now is about out here, right? We took that year, we went inside, and now if we were able to generate some good and some light, it's time for us to release that and shine it. They say it's the age of Aquarius. I love all that stuff, so let's do it. Let's cause a shift. Let's cause a positive shift.
Let's do it. Are we going to jump right into Madison? Why Love?
So there's four chapters in this book. Let me clear that up real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about the 4 chapters. I'm
love capsules, we call them.
I'm overzealous.
So am I. There are 4 love capsules in this book. I was inspired to call this Cries from Quarantine by a painting I saw of my friends on Instagram, that he's an editor and a director and a screenwriter. I had no idea he was a painter. And when I saw the painting called Pandemic Painting, I was like, this woman is me. The eyes were kind of faded. The lips were very pronounced. And it was this woman that was, in my eyes, like I was doing over the spring, resetting, taking a pause, looking inside, finding some light in the stillness. And that self-reflection became like a work of art. Right now, I feel like I'm this new work of art. And I said, Cries from Quarantine. All these love poems are going into this collection about Cries from Quarantine. And I'm like, but what does that mean? And I'm seeing that with these 4 chapters: why love, unconditional love, angry love, and self-love. It's really about, like what you said, Molly, I don't like things being put in a box. Don't put me in a box. Don't put my love in a box. Don't tell me how I'm supposed to love.
Yeah.
Show me, guide me, let me shift and evolve, and let me share my love the way I know how and where I'm learning to share love. So the first chapter of the book is why love, the root of love. And we have international spiritual journalist Madison Jaye here with us, because she can speak so clearly to how love impacts everything. It impacts her podcast, it impacts her spiritual teachings and meditations, and it doesn't show up in one way for her. So our first guest, Madison Jaye, thank you for being with us. Woohoo! I'm so glad to have you.
Hi.
Hey, Madison, how are you?
I am amazing. How are you?
Really, really good. You know, Dana just gave the best introduction for you, but I wanted to say I went to your YouTube, and there's so much really fun and positive information and content on, and thank you for that, because we, in this crazy time in the world, we're looking for these lights to shine. So we were just chatting about the 4 love capsules chapters in this book,
Yes.
Cries from Quarantine, and we wanted to talk about the why love segment, and guess what? You're on. We want to just chat through and maybe should Dana, do you want to prompt on a question, or would you want me to throw one out at her?
Throw one out, but I would love, really, first, I like to gush about women, but please give me a quick elevator pitch gush about yourself and what you do and why you're here with us tonight.
I would like to say that we are here with divinity. Like, this is all uniquely ordained for all of us to be here communing as one, to share this light, not just for the world, but to celebrate the art that is Cries from Quarantine. You know, this artwork has brought us all together. And through that novel, it's going to help us heal and evolve the world in our own diverse ways. And what better way to do that than an authentic definition of what love is in its different forms, because love is not just always happy. And we'll get into that in a second. Look, y'all like, oh, girl. Because it's not. And so that actually is a great tie into my life's work. I'm an international spiritual journalist, and a lot of people, and I'm also a media advisor. A lot of people, they think that when you hear spiritual, it's happy and it's inspiration, when in reality, there's a lot of spirituality has to do with shadow work and healing that inner child and healing those wounds that you have. So I started out, I've worked with, I have a podcast on iHeartRadio. I have a TED Talk that's about spirituality. I'm really not good with pitching myself.
I know, I was going to say, you know what? She's being very humble. She's got many accolades, TED Talks, iHeartRadio. She has worked with tons of celebrities. She's a media maven. I can go on and on and on. And she also blessed us backstage. And maybe at the end, when we do my breathing exercise, she'll bless us again with
the meditation. And I specialize in chakra healing. And when we think of why love, we think of, for me, the first thing that comes to mind are the chakras, because the chakras are the energy points in our body, right? And so they're the 7 points in our bodies that connect the mind, the body, and the spirit. So when we're dealing with the why of love, we have to understand the what is love. And then when you dive a little deeper into that, when we think of what is love, God is love, the higher source. Whoever you connect to is the higher source. That is who love is. And so once you pull from that energy, you're able to attract everything that is divinely ordained for you in this lifetime, because we all come in with a mission, right? We're here to serve humanity. And what that looks like is in direct coordination with finding out what love is in the midst of the chaos of life. because life, it isn't always pretty, you know? And what I like about this chapter is it breaks down and identifies with so many different elements of what love is. And so when we think of why love, why heal, why us, why are we here? So that component is rooted in deep healing work, right? So you think of the deep healing work in order to be able to attract. And when you think of love, love isn't just romantic. This is love. Love is creation. Love is divine. So sometimes love is telling somebody something you don't want to tell them, you know? So it's about digging out that strength from within in order to play your contribution to humanity. And so what I've learned is that people, they like to give out the information, but they never give out the tools. And the one thing Dana and I really bonded over the first time we spoke was crystals. Because if we're talking about love, how can we not talk about crystals? So I'm going to pull this one out first because this is the name. This is another part in the book, but it directly coordinates with love. So this is the rose quartz. I'm actually wearing a set now, but the rose quartz is the crystal of love, right? Direct coordination to what love is. So these, and I like to tell people, they think it's pretty but the rose quartz is going to clear you out before it fills you up. Now, crystals are minerals from the earth. They're minerals from the earth, just like God puts food here to heal us, right? Different foods and herbs heal different parts of the body. And we have some beautiful queens coming on a little bit later to talk about that. But, you know, these are minerals. So they work quicker when they're connected to when they touch your skin. But a lot of crystals always say you need to have 3 sets of each. So with this, you heal your body with crystal attraction and having them around you. So different crystals attract different things. And the rose quartz is the crystal of love. So when we think of why love, I think of why purpose, why our purpose, what are we here to do? Why are we here to serve? What is our mission in this lifetime? Because we all have a unique divine mission that we're here to serve. And when you connect that, you connect to love, you connect to your authentic self, and you connect to stepping into that power. So even in the midst of your own storm, you're able to go through that obstacle knowing that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. So
there you go.
I wanted to go cool. I'm big on tools.
You know, in our last Earth Girl camp when we got together, and I love that you said that. Thank you so much, Madison. We're going to move on to on our last Earth Girl camp. Lisa, who's our spiritual crystal queen, we call her Lisa Peace is her name. She gave rose quartz to everybody, and I think there was about 1,000 that we sat out in the moonlight the week before. So, thank you for that. We're just gonna take that love and that why love in because it's so important, and we're gonna move on to the next capsule of love. Dana, you want to let us know which capsule is the second chapter? Which capsule of love?
This capsule, thank you for the starter kit 101 on crystals, rose quartz. Thank you, Madison. Moving on, unconditional love is next. And with us is my favorite Chicago girl and such a motivation, fabulous choreographer, SAG-AFTRA talent, international speaker, domestic violence awareness advocate, Miss Drea Kelly. She's going to talk.
Good night.
Aw, hi, Drea.
Hi,
Crowds, everybody. You know, it's funny. I love everybody on this group of love chat women, but the Chicago girls, y'all do it for me. Everybody does it for me. But Dana and I connected because of her truth and her honesty, and I think that just kind of delving into your story and some of the wonderful things that you do to kind of give light and give hope to people who've gone through the adversity that you've gone through. It just is so important to me that you honest girls, Chicago girls, sometimes it's like, I'm just going to give you the truth. I'm just going to give you with the truth. So the last chapter was why love and why sometimes you have to give people the truth. And sometimes it's hard to do it with love, right?
It is.
This chapter, what is this capsule for Dana or for Drea? Dana.
Well, I have to tell you, the "we" performance, the spoken word I just did, that is my favorite chapter of the book, and that is probably one of my favorite poems from that chapter. And I'm so glad that unconditional love as a topic resonated with you, because I mean, you are a light and an inspiration to so many women around the world, and you haven't had it completely easy. So please, we're here to soak up some of your inspiration, because you just walk with this grace and ease that is not easy for women to do.
And unconditional love is what we're talking about with you, Drea.
Yeah. You know, this unconditional love, it means so many things to me, and especially being a woman and a survivor of domestic violence. When you think unconditional love as women, we are conditioned to believe that unconditional love is for everybody except us. We're supposed to love our spouse despite what they've gone through, their traumas, the abuse, their upbringing, the lack of a mother or a father. We're supposed to have it for our children. We're supposed to have it for our co-workers, but we're not supposed to have it for us, because when we have unconditional love for us, it's called being selfish. When we put ourselves first, that's being called selfish. When we put others first, they tell us it's unconditional love. And we have to think of ourselves as a gas tank. If I'm on E, that means I'm giving everybody else around me fumes. I have to fill up my tank first in order to have something to give to everyone else. So let's not look at that as being selfish. That is truly unconditional love. For me, unconditional love was this point in my life. Well, I'll give a background. The first time I ever was witness to abuse was my grandfather, and he was also a Baptist preacher. So God, love, and pain were all one to me at a very young age. And it wasn't so much what my grandfather did that changed me, because I accepted, okay, you're a monster, it is what it is. It's what my grandmother didn't do that changed me. Because the very next day, I remember waking up, a little girl, 6 years old, and I smelled fresh squeezed orange juice. I smelled bacon, eggs, toast. And I remember coming downstairs, and my grandfather is sitting at the head of the table with his Bible, praying over his eggs. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, am I the only person in this house that saw what happened last night? What my grandmother taught me was unconditional love then means I'm going to be a lady of grace through abuse, because she got up, she did her hair, she was dressed, and served him like he was a king. So for me, unconditional love at a very young age was tainted. That meant you sacrifice of yourself, you let someone harm and abuse you, and you get up and you are a lady of grace, which then means you're condoning that behavior. And women are taught, let's be real, in this generation, everybody wants that ride or die girl. I'm from Chicago, I'm a walk and live. That's okay. I don't need to be with you. I'm not doing that, because I'm going to choose me first. And especially when you are a mother, I have to be a living example. As women, we have to be living examples for other women. We don't, like you said, we're Chi-Town girls. We talk the talk and walk the walk. So in order for us to get to that, we need women that are examples of what does that look like? What is unconditional love? Is it okay for me to give it to myself? Well, when we don't have a point of reference, like my grandmother, I didn't have a point of reference outside of the household to say this is toxic. In life, when we don't have a point of reference as women to see what unconditional love truly looks like, and I'm not talking this fake Instagram unconditional love that means if I don't have filters and my lace front on, I can't be seen. If I'm not contoured, I don't go to the grocery store. That's a facade.
No,
unconditional love.
I think you're right. I think, and for anybody listening, I think what's most important for women to understand, it doesn't just have to be physical abuse. It doesn't have to be verbal abuse. There's gaslighting. There's people who drag you on and act like they're going to do something for you, and you're continually the giver and giver. One thing I want to say is, from Madison to you, Drea, I want to talk to you guys for an hour each. I think we should do a chapter. We should do an hour for each chapter, because we're running low on time. And at the end, just so you guys know, we're going to feature all 6 women at the end. So if you're wanting more from Drea or Madison or Mary or Tabatha or any of us, just know that we're here for you. And that's such an important message. I'm so grateful that you're here. So we're going to wrap this small portion. And Dane, I think we're going to do a music video. Is there music?
Before we move into the next chapter, which is Angry Love, which if Drea's Unconditional Love chapter spoke to my favorite spoken words, I would say in the written turning into from words on a page to words that I speak, right? Then the Angry Love chapter ended up producing some remixes that I saw a need to go visual too, like visual storytelling. This video is the visual interpretation of the poem I Hate You in the Angry Love chapter. I'm sorry, Your Mistake in the Angry Love chapter, which is the story of when you're coming out of that little cloud of believing in the relationship and you're like at that F him stage and you really want to start taking your power back and you get dolled up to do the right selfies so you can troll him on his Instagram feed or whatever. You want his attention. You're really not over him. So you're doing all this stuff it's a step towards getting your power back, but you're not really healed. This video is about that. It's called Your Mistake from the Angry Love chapter of Cries from Quarantine, the CFQ, the Gallery Remixes poetry album. We'll talk about that more later. That's next.
Another fake out. I had to break out. Niggas will play you for a hoe who just chased clout. The wannabe models who can't afford bottles. Phony career bios, fake goals to follow. Yeah, I bit the bait. Now I sit back and wait. Watching you looking lame. I call it your fate. Bro, you ate the bait. Now I sit back and wait. Cringing, damn, you look lame. Watching a broken man's fate. You thought you was doing something. Now you're glued to a trap. Bet you pray that the DM gods would take that thirst quench back. Hope the sex was really, really good. Better yet, kinky great. That is if she's giving you some. Her, she's still taking dates. Does that baby look just like you? Let me stop with this hate. I mean, I get to laugh at you. Watch me glow your mistake. You might call it angst and try to escape. Run away from the pain you caused with your lies, your mistake. You might call this a waste. Say that I've gone insane. Run away from the pain you caused. Narcissist on the take.
Oh my God. Dana, I've felt that in my life before.
I think we all have.
You know what's funny? I was talking to Tab, and we'll talk in a minute about forgiveness, because this morning I thought, I have resentment, and my life isn't going to be healed or better, or nothing's going to work that's positive in my life until I get rid of it. And whatever someone did to me, they didn't do to me. That was their stuff. And we're going to keep it over there. So, God, that was just so, I felt that. It's good when you write poetry and you write songs, you just get it off your chest, huh?
It's total journaling. That's journaling gone to a whole nother dimension for me. Yeah.
So angry love. Angry love is our next chapter. And I'll let you do the intro to Miss Mary B.
This is someone I have ultimate respect for, a powerhouse, not a victim, a striver, a thriver. Mary Honeybee Morrison is a New York Times bestselling author, a speaker, a filmmaker, you name it. This woman can inspire you to do it and make you believe you can do it too. Here to join us for a little angry love discussion. Please come on in, Mary Honeybee Morrison.
It really is a love.
Hi, you guys. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Look at your beautiful goddess mane.
Oh my gosh.
Beyonce crown.
Thank you. I appreciate the love. I do. I do. Dana, this is awesome. And I just
Thank
want to
you.
congratulate you and sing your praises because being bold enough and having the courage to just put your feelings out there and share them with the world, a lot of women are feeling the same exact way. And if we're not there today, maybe we're there yesterday or maybe it'll happen tomorrow. But angry love is so important and so deep and so real. The I love you, I hate you, I hate you, I love you. Call this a mistake. You know, it's not a mistake because everything we go through as women is a learning curve. And you actually show us that in the process of listening to your poetry. And the thing I told you before, I love the poetry because the audio is different from the book. So people need to hear and hear the audio and also read the book because you cleverly did that. And I really appreciate it. So with Angry Love, I look at it like it starts from childhood, from infancy, from the minute that people feel like, oh, I'm going to give my daughter a baby doll. And we've talked about that, but I feel like that teaches a woman, a girl, how to love something outside of herself. Learning how to drive in America and then going to London and getting behind the wheel of a car, you have to drive on the opposite side of the street, right? So angry love is like that. It's like you learn how to love one way, but then you have to bring it back to a healing process where you reprogram yourself, which is not easy, but definitely possible with the why love and the unconditional love that Madison and Drea shared earlier. So I just love everything that you have done with your work in the healing process. And I want to thank Madison too for my crystals. And spiritual healing is so important. You brought us together for that. And I've had like a spiritual cleansing. Speaking to your audience, you know, it's like I've done that before with someone who does that, like Madison. And you would be surprised at the weight that is lifted. So for some women, if they can't get through it, they can listen to your audio, they can read the book, and they can reach out to Madison or go to her YouTube page and listen to all of the information that she has. Because I felt like I was floating on air after my spiritual cleansing. I know that you can't always do it by yourself. And that shows how important you are to the universe for bringing us together. And I said it before, I'm gonna say it again, Grammy award winning. Definitely worthy, definitely Grammy worthy, yes.
I'm sure my producers would love that.
Yes.
I just came with a journal and was like, I hear these things in my head. Help me get them out.
Well, you got them out, and we're so grateful that you did. You know what I think is so cool? I think it's so cool. Each and every woman on the, should I say panel, or should I say just our conversation? I feel like it's super organic, but I feel like you connecting each chapter and each capsule of love, whether it's the angry love or whether it's what's coming up next with Tabatha is self-love. I feel like it's really, really a cool connection. It's connecting us all in a way. And I'm excited to get us all on at the end. And in the interest of time, Mary, we're going to see you in a bit. We're so grateful for your contribution, for you being here. You're such awesome. I mean, like New York Times bestseller. I see all these books in the back. I mean, we're just so grateful for your light and the light that you shine in the world and the example and the testimony that you have, because you being a survivor, a cancer survivor, and just, you wouldn't even know it. You've overcome such adversity, and the fear that you go through when you have something like that is almost unbearable. So to see this light shining so brightly in your eyes, and you being here for Miss Dana is just, it's just so fun for me to sing. I think, Dana, I want to bring it back to you for the next pill, the next love pill, the next chapter.
And it's funny, I like that you said pill, because for whatever reason, and I believe it's not just women, but I think we talk about it more. Self-love is the hardest pill to swallow. Like Drea was,
we're taught to be giving everything.
Yeah, everything's out here. Like Drea was saying, like you get up in the morning and you act like everything's okay.
Not selfish, it's self-full.
Yeah.
Right? for self-love.
Well, the one thing I know about self-love is that whole idea of the boxes and the capsules, or what love looks like and how it shifts and changes, at the root of all of it, and what the goal of all of this is, right, is to get to a place of self-love and self-acceptance so that we can live a life where we're a light in the world, where things are able to wash off of us. We're taking things less personally, and we're able to accept the situations and the people and receive the love that's around us. I think sometimes too, when you're not healed and understanding how to love yourself, it's really hard for you to even see when someone's trying to love you, or, you know, if you're not raised with parental love the way some folks are openly loving, it's sometimes hard for you to go in the world and be a loving person. And I thank all of the women here for demonstrating self-love. Whether you were talking about self-love or not, that's why you're able to talk about this capsule that you spoke to. But Dr. Tabatha Carr, you have a self-love journey that I want you to share a slice of. I could sit and talk to you for, like Molly said, for an hour about it, but please share, as the founder of Good Girl Chocolates, a plant-based chocolate company. I'm eating mainly plant-based now, so I'm super excited about that for you. Right. And a hormonal therapist for women. I would love for you to jump in and tell us how self-love was a journey for you, and to give us a little takeaway nugget too that we can leave with. I think that's important.
Absolutely. Well, I do what I do because of my journey to self-love. You know, being overweight at 16, being put on blood pressure pills at the age of 16 affected my love for myself. I had self-doubt, self-confidence, and by the time I was 30, I was on 3 different blood pressure pills, having panic attacks with all of these hormonal problems. And I just had to go through a process of healing. So that's how I kind of got where I am today. And I truly believe that the feelings we experience in our heart, that is really the key to discovering happiness. That's the key to discovering overall good health. And the root, and Mal, you and I, we were talking about this earlier, about the root cause of really not having self-love for yourself is really forgiveness. You know, when you think about the body has to detoxify itself in order to heal, but so does the heart. So what cleansing is to the body, forgiveness is to the heart. So forgiveness is an act of love to yourself. And when you hold on to anger, when you hold on to resentment, when you hold on to bitterness, all of this manifests in our body. Anger manifests in our liver. Resentment manifests in our gallbladder. Grief manifests in our lungs. So all of this has a physical component to it that destroys our health. It affects our immune system. It affects our happiness. So when it comes to forgiveness, what it does is it really sets us free. And that's really the first step to self-love, is forgiving yourself so you can love yourself. And for a long time, I mean, this has been a journey for me. This has been a journey for me.
I'll tell you. Uh-oh, there you go.
It's beautiful.
Did I lose you? Okay, are we back?
I think so. Hey, Tab. You know, that's so important. And I think, how do we do this? How do we do that? How do we give self-love to ourselves? We have to take time for self-care. We have to take time. We can get our money back. We can give all these other things, but what can't we give back? We can't get back our time. So to give yourself that time to love yourself and to go, damn, I was just triggered by something. What does that mean? Oh, I didn't heal. I didn't heal. I didn't forgive. So that's why I reacted that way. Maybe like Dana said, somebody's trying to give me love, but something happened to me in my first marriage and they said something that had nothing to do, their energy wasn't even about that life, but I took it the wrong way. That means I need to take some time to think about, ooh, what happened to me, and let me heal from that, right? So I'm so grateful, Tabatha, for you. I think we're gonna, I think there's a little another performance coming up. Am I right? Performance from you, Dana. 2020 Story is the performance name. Shall we jump into it?
Myself, lost some friends, little bit of loss, gains big wins, got knocked down, stepped back in, little bit of love together again, ran my race, took a long pause, mirror, mirror, saw my flaws, found my peace, healed my wounds, love with limits, I refuse, seeing clearly, on up high, believe in self, do not try, be not do, stay not flee, heart on full, now you see me, should stay real, don't look back, eyes on prize, soul intact, stay in now, moment, next, exchange love, brand new flex, roller coaster, hands up high, no control, breathe inside, play, don't wait, flow, not fix, stay connected, faith, no wish, lose power, find new strength, reclaim time in the trenches, breath don't hold, not grip, let it all go, life's a light trip.
During 2020, we were either stuck indoors quarantined or we were outside protesting. There was no in between. It seemed like the year everyone's saying enough is enough and taking it to the street. Let's start with the biggest movement of them all. America took to the street to tell cops.
Free up your mind, yo. Time for a shift. Let it all go, baby, masses got you flipped. Release your bags, man, truth's about to dip. Strap up your hip, nigga, we gon' run this. Hold your babies tight, mama, life's a short trip. Got your back, you got mine, let's do this shit. Give it up and go, man, life's a light trip. Trip, 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 trip.
Give it up and go. Dana, I didn't know you had rap skills too. What you talking about? We just felt a vibe that was not just a poem. You put it in a song and you performed it and you rocked it, and giving things up, giving it up and giving it up and giving it to God and letting things go. That was awesome, Dane.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was over here. I didn't know you was about to get in the booth and be rapping and performing. I thought you were going to recite a poem for us. I'm so grateful.
You sound like my daughter. The first time she heard that when I was listening to the final track, she was like, "Mom, you're a rapper."
Mom, you have skills. You know, I'm in the studio right now. I'm at the Lake House studio. So I'm like, you need to get in here. We need to do some work here. Dana, that was so awesome. I felt each and every word. And I feel like we need to bring everybody in, all of us, to give a reaction from all the. I feel like everybody needs to jump in, and I feel like I didn't have enough time with everybody, but here we go. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Did you guys enjoy that live performance?
Oh, my God.
I want to jump in. Let me jump in.
Jump in.
I need to properly tell y'all that that is the musical companion to the book. So that is separate. You got to actually go download or stream that. That's called CFQ, the Gallery Remixes. Those are 10 poems from the book. 2 of them are bonus poems that you will not find in the book. And 2020 Story is one of those. So that was like something that I couldn't get out of my head at the end of the year, a true journal that ended up being, as Molly said, a rap. I don't know where that came from me, but thank you for entertaining me with that.
No, that was entertaining. Hey guys, we didn't get enough of any of you guys, so I just want to do a quick reaction. You know, how are you guys feelings? What do you feel about the performance?
Oh, it was. Look, you shot out. That was so dope. Like, come through. Yes, with the mic check 1 2 1 2.
Carrie.
Yes.
I loved it. Let me just say, like, you're beyond the stars. They look up at you, babe. Like, thank you for just getting all these queens together, having us here. This is so important. This is really what we need in a time of filters. Listen, we talk about filtering pictures. We need to filter our spirits. We need to cleanse our spirit. When we talk about that, I just want to say I've learned so much from all of these women. You guys are so amazing. Miss Mary, I just want to piggyback off of something you said, that baby doll thing about giving our daughters baby dolls. Let's take it a step further. What's the first thing we're taught as little girls on the playground when a little boy pulls your hair, kicks you in your shin, and pushes you down? People always tell you he does it because he likes you.
He likes you.
And we are conditioned as little girls to believe that love from men is equated with violence. So then you grow up and you're with a man who pushes you down, grabs your hair, and slaps you. Well, he loves me. I've been taught that since a little girl on the playground. So you're so right, Mary. We need to go back. Crystals, I have a million of them, Maddie. Yes. Love them. Oh, and Miss Tabatha.
Ladies, I feel like this conversation has to be part 1. There's got to be a part 2, because all these different love capsules, we need more time. One of the things I think that everybody said in their movement was, we need more love. We need to take more time for self-love, and we need to release and forgive. So why don't we do a little breathing exercise? We do a little, I used to say when I taught yoga, taking a deep breath and make it a roar. And Madison, you teach breathing and you teach meditation. I think anything that's been bugging you or anything that's been on your mind, whether it's for you or someone else that you know is going through a really hard time, let's just take a deep breath, a healing breath. Before we do this, I will say this. I studied breathing, and there's a book that I have that's really important. It talks about how Martin Luther King used to do breathing exercises before he marched. It talks about how Bruce Lee used to do breathing exercise before he took a blow. I think if we take this moment to do a breathing exercise first to let go, right? So everybody usually says, let's take a deep breath out, like a lion roar, or a let's just breathe in. Father, just breathe it in, and then just let that one out, right? So 1, 2, 3, let's breathe in. Let it all out. All right. Now I'm gonna take my little rain stick. Flip it up and down because it is. It sounds a little open. Why don't we just take a moment to breathe in and hold it for a few seconds and then breathe out. So let's do a breathe in. Breathe in positive energy and breathe out anything that is not serving you. Get a little oxygen in our bodies and a little peace in our minds. Let's breathe in belief for ourselves and manifesting we've been thinking about. Breathe in. Breathe out. Kind of like you fog your glasses a little bit. That kind of breathe. So one more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Doesn't that feel good?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sometimes you get a little lightheaded doing it. And I think we don't take the time. And I think if you take self-time just to breathe for a minute, What would it harm us to take 5 minutes? And it seems forever because that only took, what, 1 minute? What if we took 5 minutes to breathe in, allow our bloodstream to gather this oxygen, our minds to breathe out anything negative or anything that's been ailing us, or any resentment, or any, like Tabatha was talking about, forgiveness. Because you can say you forgive somebody, but then it'll be the forget you forgot you never thought about you didn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? No, really forgive. And I think that comes from saying, you know what? If this doesn't serve me to think about it, I'm not saying forget. I'm not saying not have it in your mind if something has hurt you. I'm saying don't let it live inside. And I think these breathing exercises and this awesome Cries from Quarantine that Dana's gifted us with is going to be something that we have on our coffee tables and we share with others. I know we're wrapped for time, and our awesome producer Gwen is saying, guess what, guys? Let's do a call to action. Everybody, let's do this. Let's tell our friends. Let's go on social media. Let's say, everybody, go get this Cries from Quarantine poetry ensemble from our dear friend Dana Anderson. She shared something so special with us, and I think one of the biggest gifts is that she shared us all with each other tonight, and we all met new friends, and we're going to meet maybe here in Atlanta at the New Earth Girl Camp.
Yes.
Are you coming?
I'll be in Atlanta next month. I'm doing a conference, so yes.
Okay, so maybe we should all join here. So yes, again, anybody who's listening in, for everybody on this panel, I know we're all going to share it for our friends and our family, but please, you guys, go to Dana's page. Dana, yours is, your Instagram page is?
Me, they call me DNA on all platforms, and we have a handle we're building at Cries from Quarantine. The website, if you want to learn more about the project and merch and things that are going on as this takes off, it's just criesfromquarantine.com. I want to thank all of you for being with me this evening. This has been an act of love and of service. So I want you to know that I appreciate you. Love is a wonderful currency. It is the best currency, and I want to spend it and receive it generously. Let it keep flowing.
Well, we love you, and we're so grateful for you and your time sharing. And again, Mary, Drea, Madison, Tabatha, Dana, everybody worked really hard to make this happen, and thanks for showing up. Love you guys. Love you, Dana. We'll
love you too.
Soon.
Love you
Can I do it again? Like, keep going, 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 keep going. Sunlight on my face, feeling God's grace. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed cause I got faith. Not in God's way, living for today. I'ma watch my words, they hold more power when I pray. I love you, I say, every single day. Giving out the vibes I wanna feel from you and they. Smile on my face, the money me chase. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed cause I got faith. Blessed cause I got faith. Blessed cause I got faith. Blessed faith. Blessed cause I got sunlight on my face, feeling God's grace. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed cause I got faith. Not in God's way, living for today. I'ma watch my words, they hold more power when I pray. I love you, I say, every single day. Giving out the vibes I wanna feel from you and they. Smile on my face, the money me chase. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed cause I got faith. The money me it chase. The money me, the money, me it chase. Sunlight on my face, feeling God's grace. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed cause I got faith. Not in God's way, living for
words, they hold more power when I pray. I love you, I say every single day, giving out the vibes I wanna feel from you and they. Smile on my face, the money me chase. You say that I'm lucky, lucky, lucky. I say blessed. I got sunlight on my face, feeling God's grace. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed, cause I got faith. Not in God's way, living for today. I'ma watch my words, they hold more power when I pray. I love you, I say every single day, giving out the vibes I wanna feel from you and they. Smile on my face, the money me chase. You say that I'm lucky, I say blessed, cause I got faith. I got sunlight on my face. Sunlight on my face. Sunlight on my face. It's not okay, but I'll be fine. That part of me I've left behind. Not over it yet, but I will be soon as I wipe my memory. How done I was, now I'm just numb, going through the motions.